Welcome back to another episode of Prepper Talk Radio. We are super excited to help you become more prepared and self-reliant. We are radio for the ready-minded, and we want to help you with God, family, and country, and help you become more prepared and self-reliant. Today, in our podcast, we're going to have some exciting things. We're going to have a recap of the Be Prepared Expo that we had in Mountain America in Sandy, Utah. And we're also going to talk about some of the things that we learned there, some of the people we met, some of the cool gear and items, and just some awesome stuff that we found there. We're going to be updating our website soon, so make sure you go to preppertalkradio.com and sign up for our email lists. Make sure you're hitting our social media. We're growing really fast on a lot of our social medias, so we're really excited about that. We're going to actually be super excited to announce pretty soon. We're in talks right now with some sponsors. We have some affiliate links that we're setting up and we're getting ready. All of those things help to support the show. We'd really appreciate the opportunity to have you guys support the show with some of our favorite gear, our favorite companies. All these companies that we're going to do this with are some of the ones that we would buy stuff from, and we are buying stuff from and have bought stuff from. So it's going to be the kind of stuff that you're going to want to have in your portfolio of products and gear and equipment for your preparing needs. So we're super excited to talk about the Be Prepared Expo and what we learned, who we met, and some of the exciting things that we had. So how are you guys feeling today? And how was your week?
Well, I definitely had a great time with you guys and with all the people I was able to meet and just talk with at the expo. I mean, that's what we were there for, right? I mean, we were trying to promote the show a little bit, right? We had a booth, we had some of our banners up. It looked pretty good. I was happy with it. And then just people stopping by and saying, hey, what's this? We're a podcast, right? And then striking up our conversation with some of these people. I was adopted by a new set of parents.
That was awesome.
My Babbling Brooks.
Yes, the Babbling Brooks, fantastic people. My parents passed away last year, and they were in about similar age range of my parents, but definitely younger. Sorry, Brookses, you're definitely a little younger. But we talked for, I would say, even hours.
Yeah.
Between the 2 days that they were there. They came back the second day as well as that were there the first day. And what a lot of fun people. And in addition to them, met a lot of really nice people. And some people would even say, what, I feel the need to tell you this. I want to tell you this. I feel inspired to tell you this something. And it was something very, very valuable to them. And just good feelings, between these people. And then also there was quite a stark difference with some people as well, right? And I won't get into the detail because I don't like to do that, but it made me think about how I would like to continue to stay more anonymous, right? To stay more gray man, to loose lips sink ships, right? And how many of these people would just come up and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I have, and great, do you know me? Why are you telling me these things? Mm-hmm. Trying to impress or whatever. And I think that's the natural man in each of us, right? We're each trying to feel better about ourselves. We're trying to validate what we're doing. And we do that by sharing up with others. And sharing is the nice way of saying it, right? Bragging, being, trying to elevate our status a little bit by what we have, what we do. And that's certainly not my intent when I share something with you guys.
A couple of our listeners that we talked to, like, hey, what should I do about this? Or here's what I'm doing with my food storage. What can I do with my water? And we're like, most of the time, we're like pointing them, oh yeah, we talked to these guys, or we use this product, and they're over there, and they're over there, and they're over there. And it was cool. It was a lot of fun. But it's the same thing. Like, there were so many people that are like, not braggadocious, but they're oversharing, right? Mm-hmm. And that's one of the big cardinal rules in prepping is you don't tell everybody, don't tell anybody. I see this all the time especially on TikTok, because it's our fastest growing channel. Everyone's like, oh, my family, they're like, oh yeah, if something happens, we know where we're coming.
Yeah.
And
I think like, these people want some validation for what they're doing, right? I mean, I know I've felt that way an awful lot. I'm fairly extreme in the way what I do, and some of the three of us are quite
That's
opposite.
Nice. That's nice, Shane. Fairly extreme.
Fairly.
I might.
It doesn't quite go together, does it? Fairly and extreme. So not totally extreme, but fairly. Anyway,
so I'm in the 3%, but I'm not the top 2%.
Right.
What you're
there
saying.
We go. Yeah.
and I'm done with trying to justify what I'm doing to others. I like to be an example and maybe try to inspire, but that doesn't work. I mean, I think, and we've mentioned it before, that to wake somebody, you can't wake anybody up. They have to wake themselves up. They have to take the red pill themselves, and then you can kind of lead them on along the way, like Morpheus, right? Yeah. Here, let me show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Yeah, some people, they would come up and they would express serious concern about the future going forward. Like, man, it's going to get bad. Just in general terms, right? But really express that, and I think they're also trying to wake people up in their own way as well. Whereas see what kind of reaction they get. I know that's what I do, right? I'll say something maybe intentionally extreme just to see the reaction and see if somebody glazes over, or if they actually say something about it, right? If they actually say, well, what do you mean? And then I'm in, right? But
I remember one point, Shane, you and I looked at each other and were like, some of these people, we would like look at them and they would think, well, they're surely going to come up to our booth and talk to us. And they just passed us right by. Yeah. And then there were some people who were like, man, that guy will never come up to the booth. And he was right up there talking, telling the whole thing. Yeah. And so that was really cool.
Very unexpected. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, at an event like a PrepperCon or a, a Be Prepared Expo, or whether it's at your city or whether it's a big state one, or Be Ready, whatever, if you have a convention like that, I feel like there's a little bit of, I could probably trust these people. They're probably just like me. So there's just a comfort level that I feel like they're going to share more in that situation than they probably would. So it's like when a bunch of gray men get together, they might share their techniques and then go back out into the world and become gray men again. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like there's a little bit of that. So that was okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was cool. It was cool to hear what people are doing and some of their techniques and tactics. And
yeah, the nice thing is we're building community. Like even in prepping, the communities, there's two types of communities I find. Like there's your prep community, which is you've got your operations command, you've got people that have different skills and different things that you're working together physically. Community, right? And then there's your expanded community where you'll share ideas and camaraderie, but you won't share details.
Yeah.
Like I know a ton about both of you and kind of what your plans are. You know a ton about me and what my plans are. And we all have different beliefs on how we're going to do what we need to do, but we're 100% going to support each other no matter what. Like that's the hill I'll die on. And then I meet all these other people and it's like, okay, I know I personally have a mission to help as many people as possible. Like Morpheus, it's like, I can only ask the question, plant a seed, and let them take the pill they want. Right. And it's these events and this podcast and TikTok and Facebook and all the other platforms we're on, YouTube, guys, go subscribe everywhere. It's fun. We have different content on almost all the platforms. So if you're missing something, that's your fault. But it's fun because people want to validate what they're doing. And when they talk to us, because we're in the public eye, it gives them some validation. Hey, I'm doing this and this and this, or hey, I don't know what to do. Right. And it's like, we there's no judgment. There's no bashing. It's, hey, here's what I would do if I were in your situation. Here's where you need to focus your time right now because you've got XYZ taken care of. We need to get Q&A, like whatever. And that's one of the things that I love the most about the event, because when I was running PrepperCon, they were like ridiculously amazing events that I couldn't do anything fun. And when I got to go to this, I got to meet so many people. I got to talk to all the vendors because a lot of them are the same vendors we had. Like Be Prepared did a great job getting some really good vendors out. Like I gotta give him some of this. Like
yeah, seriously, Chris did a good job.
He did a great job getting some cool vendors. I mean, he had a lot of gun tables there, so you could see all the different things there. Buy whatever you want. They even had a toy thing for the kids, which normally I'm like, what? But with my kids, they're like, I want a dinosaur. I want a toy. What? I'm like, fine, let's spend $20. You know, got them some stuff, and they were content because I then walked them around for another hour and a half, and I probably wouldn't have been able to go another 10 feet had I not gotten them something because they were already melting down. I mean, 3 and 5 years old. Come on. But I think all in all, and I'm excited to hear this. He's coming back next year. He's already booked the location. He'll be back. There won't be a Republican convention going on the same weekend, so we'll have more parking available, which is
thank goodness.
Primo. But yeah, it was the audience. There's so many good people, and it was so effective. And I saw people just happy to be there. And I think everybody that went got something good out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody, that's the kind of event. It's the right kind of event.
Even the
everybody
vendors
needs to feel like they're doing something right. You know, they need to feel they're making some progress. And this definitely, I think, opened some eyes for some people. For me, I learned some really cool stuff. I mean, you saw me, you physically saw me in that learning process where the light went on and my mind changed almost completely about something in particular, which we won't talk about, because I changed my mind back again the next day after I put more thought into it. You know, I was going to commit to something really big. And then I went back to what I had learned. I'm like, okay, no, that doesn't I'm not totally comfortable with that. Let's start over, reset.
Which is a great learning for everyone that's listening. Like, if you're set on something, if you've studied it and everything makes sense, and you're like, yes, this is true, you know, you're going to have salespeople on every product under the sun. And you're going to have guys pitching different things on YouTube, on Facebook, like everywhere. And when you go into stores, they'll pitch you. We live in a marketing world. Like, it's ridiculous. And they're going to try to convince you, and they may have some really good arguments and convincing information. But go back to what you know and measure it. Does it meet this criteria? What are the criteria for me to be able to make those decisions?
Yep.
Which is, you've got to do that before you go into the buying scenario. Do your research. And that's why we're here. Help you do your research before you go buy something. Another thing, man, that's a lot of money. You could be gone.
Yeah. And another thing I love about these small expos is that every vendor there, you know, they're an entrepreneur. They develop their own product. They believe in it, and they're not necessarily salesmen, right? You know, because I mean, that's what I do full time. I'm a sales guy, right? And sometimes I sound like the used car salesman, and I hate it, right? I mean, I see here, you know, make a deal with me. You know, it's horrible, but a lot of practice. I've had a lot of practice with it. So, but you know, all these people, you know, no pressure, just super nice people. This is what I did. Like for example, I did an interview with Porterwell. Porterwell is, go to check out myporterwell.com. It's this water filtration system. It has a water pump like from an RV on a little portable handheld device that has a carbon filter on one side and a ceramic filter on the other side. You hook up the tubing, you put one side into a pre-filter into the water, and out the other side you got to purified water. You got filtered water. And 40, you just flip a switch, hook
40
it to a
gallons
battery.
a minute.
Yeah, like 40 gallons a minute. I haven't dived into the specs just yet, but you hook it up to a 12-volt battery, flip the switch, and it pumps water. And I have lots of water filters. Most of them are hand pump filters or gravity filters or whatever. I didn't have something like this. I really felt this met a need for me and my family. I was thinking, you know, I can turn this on and I can pump filter water right into my trailer, right into my RV tank. Yeah. Or if I, you know, pumping water, filtering water takes time. This, I could get enough water for a day in literally a few minutes, standing by the creek, and then haul it to wherever I'm at. So this really filled a need for me when I saw this, and I had seen it before, but I didn't dive in. But when I saw it, my light turned on, and like, okay, I'm buying it.
So strategy, Shane, you should have got one of those electric scooters or bikes with pedals on it, because then you could covertly electric yourself over to the river, fill your water fast, and then covertly get back.
Hook it up to the battery
of
the electric bike or of the electric scooter.
And then get home and recharge everything off your panels.
And just carry the water on the scooter.
I finally figured out why those scooters were there.
Why is it? Yeah, electric bikes, electric scooters. Yeah, no, there's exactly. The wheels got to turn. They got to turn. And for me, sometimes it takes a long time. like the one our neighbor there with their product, and then for this portawell as well. I've seen it before, and I think subliminally or in back of my mind, the wheels were turning and the light went on,